huge amount of evidence that Times Now is beginning to procure. Over the last 4 days, you have seen multiple images, horrific intimidation and terrifying images of intimidation coming out of the UK, from Leicester to Birmingham, showing how Hindus and Hindu symbols have been targeted repeatedly with impunity. Whether it was saffron flag at a temple being desecrated in Leicester or flagrantly obscene gestures aimed at temple goers in Birmingham, Hindus have been outrageously mocked and targeted. However, ever since the violence has broken out, sinister attempts have been made to portray the onslaught on Hindus as a somehow justifiable reaction to a deliberate provocation on part of Hindutva activists in the UK. Today, Times Now shows you the naked truth of this false narrative being peddled to malign Hindus. We have accessed a series of videos that show how Muslim mobs were instigated openly by people who exercise considerable influence online and is visible in the videos of aftermath of these speeches. Here you will see Pakistani youth viewers, Pakistani Britons, who are inciting other Pakistanis and other people in vast crowds. First up, listen to this man, Muhammad Hijab, who amidst the ongoing violence in Leicester is interacting with mask-clad men, encouraging them to teach local Hindu population a lesson. This video is from Monday, 2 days since the violence was already raging. Watch this.
Now in Leicester, the Hindutva are coming out, yeah? And you're trying to act like gangsters? You're trying to act like gangsters. Come on, man. You're not about that life. Don't ever. I'm saying this directly to all the so-called Hindutva wannabe gangsters. Don't ever come out like that again. Do you understand?
No chance.
Are they going to come out like that again?
Never.
Are they going to come out like that again? Never. Because if they do come out, are we going to be here, yes or no?
Muhammad Hijab, ladies and gentlemen, is a repeat offender. Spewing hate seems to be a trend. As you see on the screens right now, are visuals of an anti-Israel demonstration in London, where he threatened to kill Jews. He says all sorts of vile words. You can see him, viewers, holding that microphone up. Loudspeaker. Viewers, this is one person. However, he is not the only one. Remember the violence and disgusting provocation outside Durga Bhavan Hindu Center in Birmingham? Now watch this man, apparently a YouTube influencer, Shakil Afsar, inciting the mob right opposite the temple, asking the Hindu Center to declare that it does not support BJP and RSS amid threats of violence. Viewers, this is bizarre. Does the Hindu community stand outside mosques where Pakistanis offer prayer and ask mosque authorities to come out and say that they don't support their own government in Pakistan that exports terror, Islamist terror, to India and other neighboring states, even Afghanistan? Viewers, this is shameful and it's very, very dangerous. Listen to this.
If Hindu temples like this do not stand by the BJP and the RSS, they need to come out in open official statements and state that they don't stand by the BJP and RSS. We will not accept half-hearted condemnation. We will not accept imams coming out and saying they don't stand without valid proof. We've had enough, and the people of Birmingham will stand up. Takbir!
You've heard the instigations, now watch how such provocations translate into implications. Majid Freeman, the man on your screens, is in a pair of white trousers, you can see him, and black jacket, is seen as part of the mob running rampage in Leicester. Watch closely as the masked men surround a car, topple it over, leaving a man bleeding. Watch that, viewers. Watch those pictures. There you can see what is happening. Who is the occupant of that car? Now, viewers, Majid is one of the many who have been feeding the social media with anti-Hindu propaganda and have been repeatedly fact-checked by the Leicester police. but to no avail. He tried to peddle fears around a Muslim boy being targeted by Hindus and was exposed. Then he spread fake news that Hindu men had tried to abduct a Muslim girl and was again called out by the police. Viewers, these people are spoiling for a fight. They don't need a trigger. They don't need an excuse. And yet there are many people who are providing them excuses. Why is this happening? Let's open this up. I want to go straight across to Pandit Satish K. Sharma, MBCS, FRSA, Dharmic scholar and former General Secretary of the National Council of Hindu Temples. Sir, there has been a narrative here in India, narrative in the UK where you are, that some Hindutva mobs who have been trying to spread RSS propaganda have upset the peace and invited repercussions on the larger Hindu community. How do you respond to this? You're a member of the Hindu community there.
Jai Shri Ram, and again, thank you for giving me an opportunity to share some updates and latest news. The answer to your question is very simple. This whole Hindutva, RSS, BJP narrative has now been thoroughly discredited and debunked. A report was produced and broadcast earlier today in which independent journalists spent a significant amount of time in Leicester and could find no evidence to support anything which would indicate that there was a presence of Hindutva or BJP rhetoric or anything at all to do with the RSS. And so we're actually engaging with the press organizations which took this false narrative and proliferated it to find out whether they have had any evidence. But at this moment in time, the news media circles themselves are now beginning to confirm that this is just a distraction. It's a sleight of hand. It's a deflection to try and take attention away from what we're now beginning to see on the basis of facts as the real objective of the violence that occurred.
Let me go across to Tarek Fatah, columnist who joins us. Mr. Tarek Fatah, do you believe that Pakistani mobs that are getting cover fire in this country need an excuse to target either Indians or Hindus in specific? Do they need an excuse? I think you're on mute, sir. Mr. Fatah, you're on mute. Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
You see, they don't need an excuse for any child who, I don't use the word Muslim, but specifically Pakistani. I've never run into a Turkish or an Arab or an Iranian who even knows what is Hinduism or Hindutva, who would know about freedom struggles, etc. This is a question that comes into specifically Pakistani Muslims and to some degree Northern Indian Muslim who settle down, and then in Britain they have the ability to mix around with and share the hatred for Hinduism or Hindutva or whatever they may call it. They will use a name for it, but their contempt for being Hindustani or being a Hindu is immense. I don't think that ordinary Hindus even have a clue as to how deep this resentment is that we are the purified, chosen people on earth. And until Ghazwa Hind, when all Hindu temples will be destroyed and all Hindus will be converted to Islam, our mission will not be fulfilled. And that is when Roz-e-Qayamat or end times will come and we will all take our connecting flights to paradise. You may think this is some fable, but this is the reality which every Muslim seriously believes in if they live in the Indian subcontinent.
I object to
this. Is not
every Muslim.
Okay, not every Muslim.
I strongly object to
not every Muslim.
No, I don't care whether it's every Muslim or not.
Yes,
I've gone beyond.
Absolutely.
Just a second. No, whatever it is.
No, whatever. You see, one second.
Cannot use this channel for aid.
Viewers, one second. Let me just step in here. 1 second. Tariq Fatah, you see, I specifically asked you about Pakistani Muslims. I don't know, I have no evidence before me that suggests that any Indian origin Muslim is part of this mob. And let me tell you that I have checked at least more than once with local authorities there.
Yeah.
Through our channel. And we have not been told.
I sit with these Indian Muslims. I know them.
No, I don't. So I'm not going to go there because I don't have the proof. My point is, Tarek Fatah, one second please, let me just step in here. My point is, viewers, what is distressing me, Mr. Poonavala, what is distressing me, that there are many netas in our country, there are many columnists in our country that are providing even Pakistanis cover fire by suggesting that they are triggered by Hindutva.
No, it is ultimately.
Is this... One second, Vivek Srivastava. I know you're going to agree with that point of view.
Ultimately, it is
but
benefiting the BJP,
can I ask Tehseen Poonavala? Mr. Poonavala, what is this? One second.
Sir.
What, Mr. Srivastava, please, I'm not asking you this question. Give me 30 seconds, please. I want to bring in Tehseen Poonavala on this point. Please, Mr. Poonavala, you're a reasonable man.
Yeah.
Do you think Pakistanis require any trigger to espouse hatred against Hindus anywhere in the world? I'm asking you this.
Not just against Hindus, Rahul, against Indians.
I'm asking you.
They
specifically here because it's the Hindu temples.
One second.
Mr. Poonavala, whatever it is, I'm not getting into the Indian Muslim question
I'll tell you why they hate
because,
Indian Muslims more. Because this land gives Indian Muslims more than it gives Pakistani Muslims.
But here in this case, they have gone out there and they have surrounded Hindu temples. Now, when they have done so, there is a whole group here. There's a whole group here. There's a whole group here. What is that group saying?
Okay.
And there are people like Mr. Srivastava. Can you please explain to him that by using Hindutva as cover fire to justify this, you're giving Pakistan an alibi? Can you imagine giving Pakistan an alibi?
First, I just want to put two things on record. This one joker who you exposed, Mohammed Hijab, and this other one, Majid Freeman. This Hijab guy, Mohammed Hijab guy, is Egyptian. And this Freeman is got some dubious records and has a dubious terror past as alleged.
So he's rolling up Pakistani men.
They are all, yes, this has nothing to do with Indian Muslims. I'm putting it on record. Indian Muslims are WhatsApping saying why are we being called into this? Number one.
Number who is calling them into this?
Number two.
I'll tell you who.
One second.
It is leaders, unfortunately, from the
let
Congress
me
party.
take
Why
your
are
point.
they making this a Hindu-Muslim issue?
Accept your point, Rahul.
Why are they making it a Hindu-Muslim issue? What has this got to do with Indian Muslims? I'm asking you. This has got nothing to do with Indian Muslims.
Let me accept your point.
You have said Egyptian, you have said X, Y, you have said Pakistani. Why are you making this? No, why is the Congress wanting to make this about Indian Muslims? I can't understand.
I'll tell you what the opposition is asking, and it's a reasonable demand.
No, it's not.
Please allow me to make my point.
Please.
The opposition is saying in one voice, Indians are being attacked, and why is your External Affairs Ministry doing nothing?
No, that's not right.
Yesterday Times now to stand up for the External Affairs Ministry to react today.
Do you condemn people? Do you condemn?
No, one second.
Do you condemn? One second. Tehseen Poonavala. Tehseen Poonavala, I want to ask you. One minute. I want to ask you a question.
Until Times
and this is 1 second. I want to. No, please.
Why?
I just want to ask you a question. No, they have taken it up.
No, sir.
Please allow me. Allow me. Please. Please, the Indian mission. The Indian mission. Please. Now, Tehseen Poonavala. Look. You want to. No, 1 second. You want to constantly spread a little bit of fake propaganda here. But
is Biden not giving
one second, please. 1 second. Even you are supporting Russia. Please let me listen. Please. You are also supporting against American wishes, other powers.
Who?
That America today has launched a war against. For example, we have not voted against Russia. Now, these are matters of state.
Isn't that a good thing?
I want 1 second, please.
Isn't that a good thing?
Can you please? So by your yardstick, we should be only in the American camp, right?
I don't say that.
No, so 1 second. So America is playing its games. Why are you taking this conversation away from the basic problem? And the basic problem.
The government is incompetent.
1 second,
the
Tehseen Poonavala.
High Commissioner should have been on the
now you're not being fair. You are shouting away. No, 1 second. I'm not defending the government. I'm only giving the facts. Excuse me. This is a sovereign country that we are talking about. Tehseen Poonavala, 1 second. 1 second.
What happened in Australia when students were being beaten?
This is not right.
What happened?
This is not right. This is not right. Tehseen Poonavala, this is not right. This is not right. Let somebody finish. You are today diverting attention from the fundamental question. There are leaders who were once part of the Congress, today they are part of other political parties, who are coming out and saying that this provocation on behalf of Pakistanis is on account of what? Very simply this, viewers, Hindutva. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? A fig leaf is being given to Pakistan. Pakistan that has one finger on the nuclear button daily to eviscerate us. Viewers, think about this. Look at where our politics is going. And you have people like Vivek Srivastava and his party men who stand up for this. Think about it. I leave it at this.